What's going on, man? What's up? What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How are you doing?
Good, good. Short coffee break.
Short coffee break.
Oh, like, yeah, let's see what we can do. See how long we can go. Hey, man, thanks a lot for the invite. Really excited to just to chat and see how you doing, man.
Yeah, yeah. So for everybody who's tuning in right now, either tuning in from the Finesse Skateboard sides or tuning in from the CXXII Apparel sides, down below me is Steve James. He is an artist and also, can I say, one of the owners of Finesse Skateboards?
Yep.
So one of the owners of Finesse Skateboards. So I like to take a quick moment, let give you the podium for a second to introduce yourself and what you do and how long you've been doing it for, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, my name's Steve James. Designer, owner of Finesse Skateboards. Been doing it for probably about, I say, going on 20 years now. Yeah, so it's been a journey. Been doing it for a while, and yeah, we just been in the skate industry, skating, graphics, toy designs, apparel design, all different types of stuff.
Nice, nice. And you say 20 years, so you're considered almost an OG because most of the people probably tuning in aren't even 20 years old.
We can go with that.
and you say,
Uh,
and you
been in the industry
say,
for a while, that's for sure. You're right about that.
yeah, and you say, toy designs. Let people know that, and we were gonna touch base on this a little bit later, but you say toy designs, so you're you do a lot of tech decks, correct? I
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. So back up. Yeah, I've mainly been designing toys for like the same amount of years, probably about 20 years, on the Tech Deck brand. So I'm the graphics guy for Tech Deck. The brand ambassador, the face of the brand. So I work with all the different pros and skate brands and everything in the industry. So aside from that, designing graphics and everything for Finesse, board graphics and everything, and then also designing toys and everything too. So yeah, it's fun, man. It's a blessing.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, because I've been following you guys for a while now. I sort of touched base with you, met you a few years ago when we came for the big industry trade show there in California in Long Beach, and
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
crossed paths with you. You knew some of my friend Johnny or whatever, and kind of crossed paths and been following you for a while now and the stuff that you do, and so. I appreciate you joining us today. I always like to start some of these like little Q&As, these like little chats with some fun kind of icebreaker questions, just to kind of just have some have some fun with some questions. I always ask because this is the virtual coffee break. Are you a coffee drinker? What kind do you drink? Or are you more of an energy drink guy?
I'm not. No coffee. No energy drinks. I mainly, only thing I mainly drink is orange juice and water. That's about it, and a little bit of hot cocoa.
And cocoa. But you live
Yeah.
in California. That's what I was going to ask you. You guys are based out of California, correct?
Yeah, San
Okay.
Diego.
All
Yep.
right. So that's my other question. I was like, make sure that everybody knew that you guys were based out of California and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but we
So,
know we met. Yeah, we met at the trade show, and then we went back and we linked up again at Agenda. I mean, at the barracks. Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah, the barracks when they had
We're
their like
skating.
little party. Yeah, and you
Yeah,
were
yeah,
skating
yeah.
and I was just goofing off doing whatever. I don't remember if I even skated. I was doing my board slide. I do remember because I wanted to land my board slide on the big flat, that long rail. So
Yeah,
I board slid the whole rail, and that was I was like, all right, I'm done. That's all
yeah.
I could do. Like
I
I called it
remember.
quit.
I was like,
Nice.
you were get down with it, man.
Nice. So my other one of the questions: if you could make a skateboard right now out of any household items around you, what would you make it with?
I say probably any items.
Any items. With
Good
it
correct.
can't be a skateboard. It has to be something other than a skateboard.
I say I probably would use some furniture. I probably use I don't know probably something in our dining room. Probably
Cut a
probably our
chunk out of
dining.
your table.
Yeah, I probably cut up the table or something, and try and come up with something. But that's it. That's what because it's nice. It's got a nice flat surface. So I think I could use that. We got a nice bench, on our dining room table, so probably could use that. I
Nice.
just grab it and just break it up. Just break it up and just like try and make something work out of it.
Yeah, that'd be a good option. A table. You can slap some grip tape on it, and boom, you have yourself a like little penny cruiser style board you can then go putz around with.
Let's go. Let's go. That's
All
it.
right, all right. There's a lot of flack because there's someone in the skate industry and he's been promoting himself, trying to get sponsored. What is your opinion on skateboarding in Crocs?
Skateboarding in Crocs.
Yeah, the Croc shoes, those like
Yeah.
foam Croc shoes. You know Sean Hover. He's been trying to like get on their radar, trying to be the first sponsored skateboarder wearing Crocs.
Mm-hmm. Man, that right there would be something to see, and that's something that's out of the box. You got so many different skaters and things are out, with their own YouTube channels and trying to do all different types of things from braille skateboarding but seeing something in Crocs doing that, I
Oh,
mean,
he's
that's
already
something
doing it. He's already doing it.
to look out for,
He's
you
already
know.
doing it. Go to Sean Hover's Instagram page. He's tray flipping down stair sets he's wearing black Crocs.
Yeah. My boy, Joel Aldis. We skate all the time and different skate sessions, and he'll come out and he'll skate in his Crocs for a little bit.
So do you think?
Definitely seen it before.
Yeah. So do you think because you go to a lot of the big contests, do you think we'll see some Crocs on a pro here in the near future? Go against the core?
Yeah.
No more Nike SB. No more all these other skate brands. You're gonna see a guy out there rocking the like chunky black Crocs.
Shoot, if Crocs is put out a pretty good paycheck or something, I'm pretty sure someone would slip them on too and skate them.
Oh, I'm sure though. Sean probably wouldn't even take a paycheck if they sent him a free box of them. He'd be out there all day with them.
He out there killing it. I'm gonna go and check him out. I want to see what he's got in them, dude. That's like much respect too. If you can really like throw it down and some Crocs, dude, that's fun. That's so fun.
Yeah, he was sponsored for a while by Rainbow Sandals.
Oh wow.
Because he would go out and skate in like these rainbow brand sandals and just go off in those. But he's evolved his style to Crocs, if you can say that. So
yeah. Hey, he's stepping his game up. He ain't playing around. Stepping his game up. I'm gonna check him out.
Nice. So all right, the question everybody asks you: can you do a kickflip? I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Or, do you have a board by you that you can do a kickflip on the spot?
I don't.
Oh, all right. I've asked a couple of skaters that we've interviewed, and one of them was like, I do in the other room, and he ran off and got it and holding he was able to do it. So I thought maybe if you were in your office or someone, like, can I get a free tech deck?
Yeah, I do got some tech decks. I definitely got to hook up, after that, I got to get you a box or something, so you can send out with
I need a board to hang on my board wall.
Oh, I do. I got to get you a board.
I need a finesse board up here.
We got to get you going. Got to hook you up.
Nice. All right. And someone asked earlier, what's your favorite skate trick to do? When you're at the park, what's your go-to trick that you can make look steezy on lockdown?
Probably probably a fakie flip.
Fakie flip? Nice.
Yeah.
And you make it all steezy, straight leg. Keep the straight leg, stiff leg.
Yeah, something. Whatever comes out. I got to get these legs warmed up a little bit. But if I got straight out the car to do one, it probably will be a shove it or something, just to start off to get my legs warmed up. But then if probably a fun trick, my go-to trick probably would be a fakie flip.
Nice. So I know you mentioned earlier you guys Finesse has been around for 20 years. How did you get involved into skateboarding? Did you grow up skateboarding? What kind of led into saying, "Hey, I want to start my own skate brand, and I'm gonna roll with it with my brother, and I'm gonna create this unique brand"? Because your brand also is a lot different than a lot of other traditional like core skate brands because of the way you guys do your graphics and how you promote your graphics and stuff like that. It's not like based on what a lot of other brands are doing. So how'd you get into the skate industry?
Well, back up. I grew up in Williamsburg, Virginia. Grew up back east, small town, Colonial Williamsburg, and actually my older brother, he got us into skateboarding. My granddad bought him a board, and we just saw him out in the front, just skating around on it. And me and my brother looked at it. My twin brother, we looked at it and we was like, "Man, that's Craig. He's skating on a board." So that really automatically, whatever our older brother did, we always wanted to kind of get into. I'm pretty sure you heard that story before.
Yeah.
And then he stopped. He was really into soccer, so he stopped skating on it, and we just took it and just started, just riding around in the neighborhood with it, playing around with it, and that really drew us to like really, get it interested in skateboarding. So that was my first taste of skating, and then came looking at the skate graphics. So we had other friends in our neighborhood who really started to pick up skating. And one of them had a Pop Rota board, a Mike McGill board, and I just really liked the graphics.
Yeah.
And I always remember that. And then going to school, we started found out there was other guys who were really into skating and everything, and we started seeing their graphics. And then a good friend of ours who we're still friends with today, he busted out a Thrasher, and then there it was. I'm like looking through these pages and looking at all the graphics. So I really growing up, man. I really was into comic books and art and cartoons and everything. And it's kind of cool how both of those, what I do today, came hand in hand. But I really was intrigued when my older brother, got us into it, and the graphics.
Nice. And I know you do most of the graphics, or probably all the graphics for Finesse, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. And that's why I know you. Did you go to school for? I know a lot of people have asked because we've had some other creatives on here. Did you go to school for art? Was it just something that you naturally kind of picked up and you just kind of rolled with it and said, "Hey, I'm going to be the lead guy to do all these"? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I just go ever since I was like 7 years old or so. Just was into drawing and everything all the way till now. Went to community college for commercial art, doing learning screen printing. It was like really before graphic design really started
that's
to
me.
up.
Shout out to us, community college.
Yeah, but yeah, proud of it. Thomas Nelson Community College. So graduated from high school and then was still skating, and then went right to community college and loved it. And it was so cool. I had some great teachers and everything, and before I moved out to California. So yeah, that was the program right there.
Nice. And you, how soon after you started, like, finished college, did you start the brand?
I say like probably like actually, I got sponsored actually. I was skating. I got sponsored by a company out here. So I say it was like right around doing college, we just started doing finesse. Just started that up, just started doing it. So now how finesse got started was, well, we was like, it was hard to get sponsored, man, like in Virginia, and it was so many of us who were out skating, and all these other skate brands were coming to our town on tours and everything like that.
Hmm.
And it's like they wouldn't even skate. Some of these guys just wouldn't even skate. And it's like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, some of the guys, our local guys, we were killing it, hungry. And it was like, dude, well, these guys are great. They're good, but we want to get on. Couldn't get on. So long story short, we ended up was like, you know what? We're gonna just start our own brand. You know, there we did get flowed by a lot of different brands up and down the East Coast, and out in California. But we was like, you know what? We're gonna just start our own brand. There's some of our friends that we want to hook up. So we end up buying boards from a company out here, and it was like, man, you guys are doing really well. You're buying a lot of boards and everything. You guys want to skate for us? And that brand was Zorlock Skateboards, which we have a lot of history. I know a lot of history about that company and everything. So they gave us our first shot of getting sponsored. So I was sponsored by a company and also just starting off finesse. So threw a lot out there at you, but
Oh no,
that's
that's
kind of how that all came to be. So that's why we started finesse, is because we couldn't get on, we couldn't get a legit sponsor at the time, to hook us up.
yeah.
You know, I mean, we were sending VHS tapes out to California, man, like all the time. I was
VHS
sending,
tapes.
like seriously, that's how that, like I said, OG, right? I was
Yeah.
sending VHS tapes out to California, sponsor me tapes to try and get hooked up. and a lot of people were, they were checking them out and everything. I was sending out so many VHS tapes, sponsor me tapes, that I got offered a job at the post office. Because I was, and
That's awesome.
the postmaster was like, "Hey, I got to know these guys, right?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, if you ever looking for a job or anything, come in here and come talk."
We'll
I
we'll
said,
we'll we'll
you know,
subsidize your shipping costs by working part time here.
it's funny because I was like, man, that was a great opportunity. I could have took that, think, a young kids, getting to work in a post office, all these benefits or whatever, but that it was not something that, I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Nice. And I mentioned earlier, your graphics are really unique because there's a lot of brands that when they put out graphics, it's like it's a lot of them are dark and crazy and geometric and all this stuff. And you guys primarily, as far as I've known your brand, I don't know if it's always been like this, but you guys have really, like you said, focused on, like you said, almost that kind of comic book sense where you guys do a lot of collabs with kind of anime companies. You guys have done stuff with Transformers now. You have your own personal kind of style with you've done the lion ones that I really like.
Thank
And
you.
how did you guys develop your style or decide like, hey, we want to kind of create our own like little niche where it's not necessarily doing like Element does and wild patterns and designs and stuff or Zero does stuff with the dark like really dark kind
Sure.
of black and white
Yeah.
graphics and stuff like. How did you guys develop your style or who kind of came up with that idea like, hey, we're just gonna do this and run with it and be that brand?
I think just just my roots, just growing up in just animation and cartoons and everything. I just always had the idea, looking like you're saying. I saw a lot of dark graphics and things, and just and I was like, I always wanted that. I really like a lot of the OG brands, like hookups, and
Mm-hmm.
another anime brand way before hookups was called Sunni. And I always liked the anime stuff, and I was like, man, that's so cool. It's like just I've never seen anything like that. So I was like, man, I have a lot of favorite brands that I grew up watching when I was a kid, and I always was passionate about that. And I was like, that'd be so cool if a lot of childhood anime cartoons I ended up watching and video games too, like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So right beside our neighborhood was a bowling alley, and we skated in that bowling alley all the time. And we would go in that bowling alley and we used to play the arcades, and it was a Street Fighter was one of them we used to play all the time. So my love for video games came out of that. So I always had the idea or the thought of like we want to be different, and we want to it was really from passion from anime and from video games that we grew up from in our childhood.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah,
Some
because
of
I like
some of that the
good.
lion stuff and everything. I've always been into lions, and I just that was just always kind of animal that I really liked. Um, also the Lion of Judah. You
Yeah.
know, that's another thing. So you probably seen some of the graphics, the Lion King and everything. So I really like that too. So always wanted to have a message. Really trying to think nowadays about having a message or what we can put with the graphics.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you guys have pros currently on your roster or guys that you're pushing and supporting on a regular basis?
Yeah, no pros right now. At the time, we did for years had a lot of different pros and everything. Right now, we're just graphic and collab and license driven. But there are a lot of guys out there that we still get boards to, we still hook up, and also a lot of kids and everything out in the skate parks and everything that we get back to and everything. That's something that God's put on my heart. Is just really be able to get back and really be able to support the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I know the reason that we've connected too is because we're both believers, and
Uh-huh.
you've run your company. Like I said, you've been intentionally run your company really clean. You have clean graphics. You have positive message behind your graphics. Like I said, you do a lot of this stuff with tech decks, and I mean I see when you guys are your brands posting stuff or you personally are posting stuff. When you're out in the community doing events and you're doing giveaways and you're hanging out and like at the skate parks and stuff like that. So like with all that, like how as a believer, how has God allowed you to use your brand even more or been able to reach the skate community and just with the positivity and love. Like, what have you seen, or what have you been a part of?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Just what God has just really just opened up the doors. He's opened up over the years. Um, but I'll go back a little bit further than that. I did grow up in a Christian home back in Williamsburg, Virginia. My mom and dad, they, really, it's really one thing my dad, really, and mom and dad, really told us about Jesus and, about why we believe what we believe. And so I think, we always grew up going to church. Ended up going to a small church, Baptist church, Shower Baptist Church. That's why I ended up, accepting Jesus at a young age. I say like about from 10 to 12. And my brothers as well. And then let's see. Then after that, skate, like you said, still was skating, still was the art and everything. But one thing I look back then, I wasn't really, I was more focused on that point. Like, okay, I've accepted Jesus and everything, but I wasn't really equipped. I didn't get equipped, or I didn't get discipled right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I see that. I look back at that now, and I can see, it's like, okay, what's next? Didn't have a youth leader or anything like that to really help us out. So, long story short, I ended up putting skateboarding before the Lord. I was still always praying. I was going to church and everything, but pretty much living, I say pretty much like I was going to church in the world, going to church, kind of, I would say, in a little bit more like in a double life.
Yeah.
I'm serving the Lord, and I'm also skating too. So I was putting skateboarding before the Lord, skateboarding art before the Lord, all through high school and everything. And it wasn't until I say about 18 and 19 that I realized the Lord told me, from injuries, from different business things not going right, from school, all these different types of things, the Lord was really getting my attention. And he was saying like, hey, Steve, I wired you to have passion for, for skateboarding, for art, for all these things, but I want you to use them for my glory.
Yeah.
So that's why I really fast forward now to all these things you see me doing, and giving back is that's why. So Lord just said, these are your ministry tools. These are your tools that I bless you with, so that I glory. So that's one of the things that we go out and do, in the community, is really share. Like, hey, we're giving you a boards, and this is why I'm giving you the board. So we have monthly skate sessions, around the skate parks, and we give out boards, we give out food, water, all different types of gear, and we also sit down, with a lot of youth, and we really share with them, like, hey, look, this is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
God has called us all. God has a plan for all of us.
Yeah.
And we have devotion. We have a time with them, where we really share with them. And what's really what I really like, because a lot of skaters are open minded to really to hear what we have to share with them. At the park contest we go, which is kind of interesting, because as skaters we see things out in the community different. Like me and you could go out to lunch right now, and we could see a set of steps.
Yeah, that's how it is anywhere. Like, if you're with skaters, you'll be driving and say, oh man, there's a set, oh, look at that gap over there. Oh, look at that over, oh, there's like a perfect handrail if you have this over here. Like, yeah, you see things from a completely different perspective.
Yeah, so I share that. I'm saying just how we see things differently, that's how us as believers see things differently than the world does. How God has changed us, and how he has renewed our minds to see things differently.
Right.
Not the way the world see it, but the way we see things.
That's
so
why
I just really encourage a lot of creators and stuff like that out there, how Christians, how believers, how we see things differently,
Yeah, that's
so
what Romans. That's what my brand stands for. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to renew your mind. Like, yeah, you see, like,
that's it.
God wants to reveal and open up like a new perspective to, I mean, even if you're not a believer or if you are a believer, every single day you wake up and you choose to see things from the lens of being either negative, especially right now with negativity. You can
Sure.
be fearful, you can have all these different things in your life where you wake up and you have that lens like, okay, today I'm still alive, I have food on my table, I have a roof over my head, like
Yeah.
I still possibly have a job, like,
Yeah.
and be able to like be able to give back and like you say, give back to the community that you're part of. And you've created like a mission field right there in your own
Yeah.
backyard with like
Yeah.
using your brand and being able to approach the kids where they're at instead of them trying to like come to you. You're going to where they're at and being a part of their community. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been
And
on plenty of like trips on, yeah, been on plenty
yeah,
of trips and stuff with skaters where it's like that. It's like people always say, "Oh, let's pop up a ramp over here. Let's do this," and then invite all these skaters to come. And it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to go where the skaters are at.
yeah.
Like if you try to get them to come to you, they're not going to come because they know that they're going to expect something out of you. But if you go where they're at and you sit down where they're at on their turf, then that's when they're more receptive to listen and hear what you have to say.
That's it, man. And guys open up doors for us, not only just going to different skate events, going to the skate parks, but also going to schools too. So I've had the opportunity really to go and share what God's doing, with the business, with the ministry we're in at different schools. So been partnering up with Christian fellowship athletes and really just going and sharing. Like, hey, look, um, you know, sharing my story about like, hey, look, I skateboarding was, my idol. I was putting before the Lord, and just sharing like whatever you putting before the Lord, that's your idol, and God just said no, and so I just really go and encourage them, just share like, hey, look, it's okay and it's passing to be wired about, if you're an artist or a teacher or whatever you think, but make sure God gets the glory at the beginning and at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I also share with them, when we go out, it's like, um, um, for me, we're called to serve our community, and my community is a skateboarding community, and that's what we do: skateboard community and the art community, So and this is how we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to for sure. Like, I know you travel around. You're doing all the big contests or the ones that are local when contests get boot back up. But you need to come out here. We need to do some ministry stuff here in Minneapolis for the X Games. We need to somehow get you into that X Games so you can not skate in it,
Sure, sure,
but get
yeah,
in here because there's always amazing opportunities to share with people. I know I had an amazing trip. I went with Judd Heald and Entitled Skateboards when he went down for the Tampa Pro,
yeah,
and
yeah. I
I
saw
know
that.
there's
You
some,
filming.
yeah, there's some
I
pretty.
saw that. I said this dude is filming. Judd. I saw that. Oh, I was like, but you're right to your point.
If you watch it live, I was sitting right up on the deck next to like, I mean, Nigel was there and Jamie Foy and the guys were all standing to the left of me or whatever, and we're all sitting there just kind of hanging out and watching the contest. But I know big God is really planting some amazing seeds there, especially at Tampa. As long as they keep their doors open, I mean, there's some amazing guys on there that I got to meet that are amazing believers. I mean, just the hands and feet. And what's
Yeah,
amazing to see is when you go and you see these events, the guys that's building the ramps and putting everything together for these events, they're believers. They're out
yep,
there they're literally doing the dirty work. And
yeah,
everybody sees all this, but then they don't realize, hey, that guy, he's on his hands and knees fixing that ramp and he's a believer and and then you got people like Judd who's up on the ramps and he's praying with some of these pro skaters and just planting a seed in them or just praying protection over them and then being super receptive of it and open to it. And like I said, it's amazing to see how God's like doing some really unique work within the skate community. And I hope that there's more people that are skaters that will continue to kind of be bold and step up and be a part of that. And I know you guys are a big part of it, and you guys have been super open about your faith and being able to help out with a lot of that stuff.
yeah. I just want to plug my phone up because my battery is dying out a little bit.
You're good.
I want to make sure I don't cut off on you. Yeah, but you know what? The one other thing too is what's one other thing? Oh yeah, so I went to Black Pearl Skate Park years ago with Judd, and we went to a lot of different schools and we went to go and share and you know, Judge are awesome dudes, you know. But that's one of the things too. Not only just like going to schools or different skate parks or things, but really in the industry too. You know, right now there's a lot of skate shop owners that I've been talking to about their businesses and things like that. And that's really an opportunity for us where we can really just share like, hey, look, you know, God's still on the throne. You know, my God is still on the throne. You
Hmm.
know, and you know, this too shall pass. But at the time, you know, is it right now is a time for us to really think, you know, like, you know, what all God is doing. You know,
Yeah.
look at it as an opportunity, look at for a time for us to really to pray and just really reflect on, you know, like what God has in store for us. You know, so it's really a time to really encourage a lot of pros out there.
Yeah, because our parks are shut down. Yeah,
Yeah,
parks are shut
yeah,
down. I've talked with a handful of guys, and it's like, have you been riding? He's like, nope, I haven't picked up my skateboard in 2 weeks. I haven't picked up my skateboard in 3 weeks. I haven't done anything. Like, and
yeah,
that's what Judd's been able to reach out and talk to guys and be like, hey, during this time, this is when you need to really like,
yep.
kind of like you said, almost realign yourself, reflect on like what's going on in the world, what position you're at right now, like what have you been putting first, like hey, you have all the time in the world now, you can't go to a skate park, you can't do
Can't go
this,
to the
or you
skate
could
park.
skate in your, you can do it in your driveway, you can mess around, but like what's priority in your life right now, like and really focusing on that. So
Yeah, a lot of guys have been open minded. I was like, okay, can't skate, you know, can't go out right now. So what are you doing? And a lot of guys been like, you know what? Had a lot of time to think. I've been going really fast on a lot of things. So it's really just you know, talking to a lot of pros out there. It's like, okay, my next move is, or this is what I want to try and do. And you know, really for them thinking, you know, what they can do career wise and things. I'm like, you need to reach out to the Lord, man. You know, you don't believe in God or anything, you know, yeah, shout out to God and ask Him to reveal Himself to you, you know, but you got to be ready. You got to be listening and really got to think about that.
yep.
And that's been amazing too, just to have those conversations. And they've been some really great conversations I've been having with a lot of guys out there. And I thank God for that opportunity just to open up that door for me, just to be able to, just to hear just what people are thinking. And you know, this is real life stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is real life stuff, and you know, just really being there for them, you know, and just being able to just hear what they're going through, and just being able to pray for them, and just let them know, like, and you know, I'm talking about believers and non-believers.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just, hey, look, so it's an opportunity just to really be able to step up and serve them by just really being there, just to hear what they have on their mind.
Yeah, that's key. I mean, I've talked to plenty, like my friend Mario last night. And he said that's the biggest thing. People just need someone to listen to, the
Yeah,
vent. They're doing life like everybody else is doing, and sometimes they don't have anybody to vent to, or they try to vent to their family or their friends, and their friends kind of ignore what they have to say, or stuck in the same boat. And sometimes they just need someone to vent with them, and like you said, give them that encouragement and just to pray with them and say, hey, like if you're not a believer, if you are a believer, just God's listening. Let him let him be the one to give you the peace and the grace and the guidance that you need right now. Don't be looking to your friends and everything else that's going on around you, because it's just, you're just going to come to a dead end almost every single time. So
yeah, yeah. Like you're saying, I mean, you know, it's like if I was still to really like I haven't been skating. I'm still been skating around my neighborhood and everything, you know, just to keep the legs moving, you know, like to kind of push around everything with with my daughter. You know, she likes to
yeah,
get out there and skate around and everything. So I've been, you know, skating around and doing that. But like you're saying, you don't have your board, you don't have whatever you know, like I said, if that was still my idol, you know, back then or whatever, you know, but God changed all that up, you
yeah.
know, like, you know, so it's something really, really,
And for
I
any
just think
skaters, for any
too.
skaters that see this, that's the key. Like he was, the key is if you could still skate and do everything you love to do, and God's gonna bless you even more with your skating ability if
Yeah.
you trust and put your focus and you give Him the glory. Like
Amen.
there's so many skaters that lose that, and next thing you know, they get injured, they get hurt, something happens to them, and they don't have that as their reliability, or as their security blanket, and God shuts them down. Or you have people that are like Beaver Fleming, who are out there and they're just strong believers, and they get hurt, and every minute that they're able to like give God the glory. They're out there doing it, and He continues to bless them and watch over them, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
like if you're a skater right now, that's my encouragement. I'm sure Steve can encourage you with that. Like God gave you the unique ability to skate, land tray flips, and make them look steezy, do insane stuff down stair sets. Use that for His glory, because He's only going to give you even more than you can handle, and allow you to like share your love with other people around you, and that your love for skating with the people
Yep.
around you. So
Yep. I mean, and that's some of the things is like, when I go out and skate, I always cherish every moment, and it's like, not because I've been skating for so many years, but I really appreciate it. It's like a lot of things, like you're saying, a lot of people we take a lot of things for granted. Can't go to skate park now. Can't go
yeah,
to street spots or whatever. So I think, like you're saying, when we all do get back on our boards and everything like that, at least I am. I mean, I thank God, that, I'm still able to skate, still able to get those tray flips, 360 flips and everything, for like 30 something years now. Seriously,
yeah.
dude.
I can't land them at all. So
I thank God for that, and
yeah,
I'm like, still able to do that, and I'm still able to get out there and skate and still go out there with the youth and skate with my daughter and, my whole family. I'm thankful for that, And my wife, she looks at that and she's been there the whole time and seeing that. And as you know, following the Lord, we go through ups and downs, but God is still on the throne. And I look back and I just seeing, when it was going through business with Finesse, it was a lot of ups and downs, on different things. But I really look and I can see how God was really, how he was still working,
yeah,
and still working today. How he was working back then on certain things, how he's still working. That's the thing that's so awesome. We can't see what's going on right now. We may not see all the things that's going on right now. But maybe like, next week or maybe like next year or something, we'll be able to look back, or at least I'm praying that we'll be able to see like, okay, God, now I see why. Okay, God, now I see what's going on. Okay, now I see why this happened. That's the way I choose to look at it.
yeah.
You know?
That's amazing. Yeah, God will mold and shape any situation, and He does it for the good of us. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go rant too long, but I've been going through the Old Testament. We're doing a 365 reading thing where been reading through the Bible, and when you read through Exodus and
Yeah, same
Leviticus, and
here.
like right here, like
Yeah,
right now I'm reading, and we're in First Kings and stuff like that with the story of David and
yeah,
Solomon and stuff like that, and it just what you said just reminds me of that. It's like they had everything they ever wanted. God gave Solomon all the wisdom, all the power, all the riches he ever wanted.
yep,
And he squandered it in the end. Like
yep,
he literally just threw it down the trash. He could have said, "Hey God, I'm going to continue to give you glory," and God would continue to bless him over. But he eventually said, "I'm going to run off with a bunch of women and start worshiping other idols." And know what God did? God went, bah, and just,
nope,
nope, you're
no,
done. Your reign
yeah.
is over. And then he handed it off to his son, and his son squandered it and just destroyed it even more and made it even worse. So like,
I'm reading that
when,
too. It's funny.
yeah,
I'm reading that too. The Book of
yeah.
Kings. I'm doing coast to coast. That's what I call it.
Yeah, we're doing
365.
yep, going right through the middle. Like I have a reading plan on my site, and I've been doing it, but it's been like I've been reading through, and it's like when you talk like this and you see everything that's going on in the world, you read it and it puts it even more into focus. Like, man, where has my time been? Where's my energy been? Like, who have I been really like worshiping and focusing on as
Yeah.
a family, as a whole, and as a community and stuff. So it's pretty amazing that God kind of puts those like little reminders in an intentional time to like
Yeah.
say like kind of remind you and kind of put you in check, saying, wow, like I do have a skate brand, I have a house, I have cars, I have a family, I have everything I wanted, I have all the riches, and who's it to give glory to? I'm gonna continue to give it to you. So
Amen. Amen.
so
Uh, yeah, and it's so real. Like you're saying, this right now is like such a time as this.
nice. Yeah.
Such time, it's like it's real, man, out there. And like you said, Solomon had it all. The Bill Gates back then.
He was bigger than
That's
Bill Gates. I mean
that.
they were
Nope.
saying he had lion statues
Yeah.
that were 6 meters tall, that were
Yeah.
gold and ivory. Like
Yeah.
today you would look at that and go like, wow, golden ivory, that's like a 24-foot tall lion that leads up to your house, like to enter your gates to your house. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like what he had
Yeah.
soldiers with solid gold shields. Like,
Yeah.
and you're just
Yeah.
like, solid gold shields, like,
Solid
that's
gold.
ridiculous. That's a
Yeah.
lot of gold. This is
Yeah.
666 shekels worth of gold per
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah.
So,
And I
but
think I'm very encouraged by that too. After from reading that and everything, and like you're saying, it's an everyday process. For us all.
yeah,
And that's really why I encourage a lot of skaters. Just as an everyday process. We have to. That's one thing that I love about God. Just one day at a time. Let's
yeah.
just do it one day at a time.
All right. Yeah, that's great. But I really do appreciate Tim. I know you have we've kind of went over our time
Oh, that's
limit.
cool. Yeah, that's
But
cool.
I know, but it's been amazing to chat with you. Before I end a lot of these, I like just to take a moment to pray. Pray over
Sure.
you, pray over your family, pray over your
Thank
brand. Just kind of pray over the people who are watching right now or see this, and just kind of end on a good note, and then we can go our ways, and you can start your weekend with your family. So
Hey man, appreciate it, man, for having us on, and it's just I'm thankful. I'm be praying for you for all that God is doing. Just keep it up.
thank
You
you, I
know,
appreciate that.
brother. This has been a blessing. Finally, we got this linked up and everything,
Yeah.
and this was awesome. This was fun.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll go ahead and start this out in prayer real fast. So, dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day, Lord, and I thank you that we're able to communicate in this form or fashion and talk about who's given us everything that just provides for us on a daily basis, Lord. Whether it be Steve with his Finesse brand and the community of skaters that are around him, I pray that you just continue to strengthen him. Pray that you just continue to open up doors for him to speak to these pro skaters and just the community of skaters and anybody who he comes in contact with, Lord. That you will just shine your light on him and just make people wonder, like, why does he have so much joy? Why is he walking at a little extra pep in his step? And he'll be able just to kind of share about you and what you've done for us. And just pray over his family that you keep them safe and you'll just protect them and watch over them. Pray over his brand that you'll just continue to use his brand for your glory, Lord, and just be able to reach more and more kids and be able to get into more skate shops and just continue to be fruitful in his life. And I just pray for anybody who's watching this right now that you will just watch over them. Pray that they'll look to you when they're having those doubts and the fears and just not knowing what's going on in the world, Lord. That you will just reveal yourself to them and just speak to them and put peace over them, Lord. And I thank you for your love and who you are and what you do in all of our lives. In your precious name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
So, thank you again, Steve. We'll have to be doing this again very soon and get a chit chat or whatever. So, if anybody's watching this right now, go follow the Finesse brand. Support them. If you're a skate shop owner and you see this, reach out to them to get their boards in your shop. But appreciate everybody who watched this. Thank you for your time. And Steve, I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I'll get you that board too soon for the board wall. So we gotta link up and get that going.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
You too. Take care.
Peace.